Oh, we have a special episode for you today. It's going to be quick and sweet. So if you're taking a little bit of break from your festivities, come join us for the next 20-ish minutes. And we have a special gift of an episode for you where we're going to be talking about all of the gifts from Russell and ClickFunnels throughout 2023. So come join us and we'll get into it right after the intro.
We are part of an underground group of entrepreneurs that you've probably never even heard of before. We are funnel hackers, and these are our stories.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to this special episode of Funnel Hacker TV. We are so excited to have you guys here. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you're celebrating this holiday season. We're excited to have you guys here. We're going to be doing a different kind of an episode. Usually, traditionally, everybody's gotten a whole bunch of gifts yesterday. So today we figured, why don't we go over all the gifts that Russell has given us over the last year? Now, we're funnel hackers, right? This is Funnel Hacker TV. The way that we learn, the way that we love to discover is by watching what works. And so I made a calendar of every single launch that Russell did this year. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through these and just what were our realizations? What were the ideas? What were the things that came up that made us as funnel hackers just happy? So I have some insights. Susan has some insights, and we're just going to bounce back and forth and see how it goes. So if you guys enjoy this, we'd love to have you part of the Funnel Hacker TV family. Subscribe on YouTube, text FHTV to 208-231-3797 so you get the text message when we go live. And we're so excited to have you guys here. Happy holidays. Susan, are you looking forward to anything here on this list specifically? Because I think this is going to be fun.
Oh, man. It's going to be so much fun. There's so much that happened in 2023. And I'm excited to kind of go over all of it and talk about some favorites, I think, and some key moments for me and you during the year.
Yes. And so, guys, we're hoping to keep this kind of short so that way you can still go and enjoy time with family if you need to sneak away. But at the same time, if you really miss the funnel hacker kick and you need a good kick in order to have the holiday season take off in a new way and be able to create some New Year's resolutions, this is going to give you a whole bunch of ideas. And so enjoy this, share it with a friend, tag one of your friends down below in the comments, and let's get started really quick. Before we jump into the calendar, two things happened in 2022 that we need to bring up. Number one, right after Funnel Hacking Live, Russell created, what was it? The Your First Funnel Challenge. And in the Your First Funnel Challenge, Russell introduced ClickFunnels 2.0 for the first time publicly to the world. There is so much that we cannot say about ClickFunnels in this episode. And so what we're going to do is leave that for another episode because of all the gifts that have been given just in the software alone. But the Your First Funnel Challenge was launched, and this became something that became evergreen for all of 2023. It became the gift that kept on giving, and it's one of the funnels that we've really doubled down on. We want to make sure that you guys we want to celebrate that because it's not just a funnel that we did well live. It became evergreen. It became a wonderful funnel. If you're looking to funnel hack a funnel, which one's working, Your First Funnel Challenge is one of the top funnels you should be funnel hacking this holiday season. Because it's done well for us for over a year and we absolutely love it. So Your First Funnel Challenge as well. What happened right afterwards is Russell did about, I want to say it was a month later, Russell did a live for the Inner Circle where he showed all the different pieces of the linchpin. And it's the first time that he taught the linchpin. Now, this is before the linchpin book was a thing. This is before Funnel Hacking Live when it was all organized. And from this event, number one, all the Inner Circle got their very first glimpse. But number two, there were a lot of moments that were bumpy where Russell realized I can make this simpler. I can make this clearer. And so it became a lot of big takeaways for everybody else where we said, you know what, this is the Inner Circle. It worked great. Now we're going to make this the success path for 2CCX. And now we said, you know what, how do we make this simpler? And that became the goal of all of 2023. So if you guys don't know what the linchpin is, you should probably go to linchpinbook.com and get it because you're going to see this theme all the way throughout the entire year because it wasn't just here we're going to introduce this thing called ClickFunnels, but we're also going to implement it using the linchpin strategy. And when we did, our numbers were spectacular internally. Not allowed to share a thing, but tell you what, it was pretty darn good. And it is something that I would recommend to everybody, not just because it's the framework that Russell talks about, but because it works really well. So with that said, let's go through the list really quick. I know, Susan, some of these are going to be like, wait, Russell did this?
There's so much. It's like, okay. And it was, some of these were like almost a whole year ago. Like, well, they were a whole year ago because this
Feel
is
like
airing
it,
still in December.
right?
So yeah, it's gonna be fun looking back on them. And I just wanted to say one quick thing,
Yeah.
because you mentioned that people are gonna see that there's a theme of linchpin throughout the year. And as we cover all the things that happened, I'm looking at 2023 as like the launch of ClickFunnels 2.0, obviously literally ClickFunnels 2.0, but also the strategy of ClickFunnels 2.0. Like when that started with the introduction of linchpin. So the entire year is like, it's just so exciting. I think we're going to look back at this year in ClickFunnels history, and we're going to look at it as the major turning point for a lot of people and the company. And so let's dive in and let's remember what it was. It'll be fun to watch this back in a few years and be like, wow, they did so much.
Yep. Now, if you guys have the linchpin, so if you don't have your book out, more than likely it's the holidays, you won't have your book out. But if you do, make sure that you're paying attention because we're going to be referring to every little piece inside of here. So I was looking at the image on page 10. There's got to be an image that's bigger than that, but I'm going to go with that. So we're going to be referring to all the different pieces that are inside of the linchpin. So we have continuity, MIFKI, dramatic demonstration 1, which is a webinar and a challenge, and dramatic demonstration 2, which is more high ticket. So we're going to be referring to this all the way through because it is the theme. And it's really, that's cool that it's like the theme of how we launch 2.0 and how we use 2.0.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. So you may not recognize these. Some of these are things that we didn't talk about publicly, but it was something that we did. So the very first thing in January, Russell launched Lady Boss. He did a webinar that launched Lady Boss. I don't know if you guys watched it, if you guys saw it, but Russell did a webinar that launched it. So you guys get to see him relaunch a brand with a brand new attractive character. All the different ways that he was able to make that work was the initial offer in order to launch this and how he turned Lady Boss into an MLM. So that was really cool to watch. So that happened in January. So 3 things happened in January. That was one of them. The second thing that happened in January, we have the Magnetic Marketing Challenge. And the Magnetic Marketing Challenge was our first funnel challenge for ClickFunnels. So he said, let's look at magnetic marketing as a brand. What challenge should we do? And so we did the annoying pest to welcome guest, and we introduced Marty Fort as the brand new attractive character that works alongside Dan Kennedy inside of magnetic marketing. So that happened. Did you watch that one, Susan?
I think that I did. There's a few things the magnetic marketing related that happened this year. I think that and it was exciting. It was exciting because it was like
I think you saw a couple of pieces.
Like
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember us talking about it. So that happened, and like there's some really cool stuff that happens. We're going to talk about magnetic marketing more because we're just throwing everything that Russell created as a launch. So the third thing that happened in January, Russell began the pulse. Russell was able to start doing the pulses, which is really cool. Russell actually did a short little video about like the pulse and like a recap of the pulse. Let's go ahead and watch that really quick. Does that sound cool?
Yes.
So it was cool.
Okay, let's watch.
And I never saw it. It never got launched. So let's watch it.
Our goal is to have the software with the most success stories. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? There's so many cool things happening inside ClickFunnels 2.0. I keep doing these pulses to let you guys feel the pulse of what's happening here. This is like the most exciting time in the last decade of our business. How many templates we get them today? We get them templates. 37. It would like make everything in life so much easier. And so in 2.0, we have that.
I want to show you how we're using 2.0. Because
wait, you're saying ClickFunnels 2.0 actually works right now? Because I heard it doesn't work yet. Is it okay if we over deliver? You guys cool with that? Dude, you not understand what 2.0 does? ClickFunnels never tells us the updates. They don't let us like vote on stuff. No, we do. They just didn't know where the things are at.
Examples of our funnels live.
Kind of the dashboard of the style guide.
You just have access to be working directly with our team through these channels. We're not skating to where the puck is. We're skating to where it's going to be. I know Todd's got a whole team out of Atlanta this week. Everyone else, we should have some more cool magic coming up. Cool new AI built in called Napoleon. And it's a bot that'll help you write copy, create images.
Boom. Let's enjoy authentic Mexican cuisine.
This is our job. Our job is to be the company that gets people results. I don't know. We can go to head with anybody. Show us any company that's had more success stories than us. There's none. Not even close. We've been doing it for a decade now. We're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to do this. We're the ones that bring results. 3, 2, 1. We're officially live. What's up?
Okay. So the pulse was really cool. So every time Russell goes live throughout here, we're not going to talk about, just know that he goes live all the time talking about the new pieces of ClickFunnels and how it works. And this is important. At the time, you guys remember ClickFunnels, the word, how it was working, we needed to take control of the conversation. So what did the attractive character do? The attractive character came out and began to take control of the conversation, to talk about the different features that dropped and how it all works. So January was a masterclass, not only in the linchpin, launching businesses and using dramatic demonstrations, but also in raising the attractive character, a new one, or using the attractive character's influence in order to make sure that the business grows appropriately. All right. In February, we had two things. Number one, we had Video Funnels webinar with Voomly. Russell introduced Voomly to the world and talked about how you can build a video funnel and how you have ridiculously cheap video hosting with Voomly. And we've built multiple video funnels inside of Voomly. We've had a lot of fun with it. And we've moved almost all of our video database over there. You look at all of our funnels. All of our funnels are hosted right now inside of Voomly because the page speed is bonzo crazy. It is so good. And a lot of the features that Russell talks about there are live inside of Voomly. So if you want to have like that video that sits on the sidebar now that it has the talking head, that's available. All the different pieces are available. So really cool stuff from Voomly.
I will just say, like, I didn't play with it before that. And then Russell bought it and launched it. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. There's a lot you can do with it. So go check it out.
Yes. Check it out for sure.
Okay.
And then February, we had Lady Boss. Yep. And so the Lady Boss virtual event, and this was a virtual event. This is for everyone who just started to promote. So we took all of the top promoters, brought them into the office, and or they were able to go watch from home. And we did a special event just for them to help keep things moving and help them build their businesses. Whew. That's the beginning of the year. We're almost done with quarter one, and then I'm going to hand it over to Susan for quarter two. So the last thing that happened in quarter one is in March, we had 3 additional things. You notice how many times we're launching? Just notice this, like it's often. This is not like, oh, we did this here and did this there. We make the joke that we have funnel years, like we just collapse time. So 3 things happened in March. Number one, we launched the Life Coach webinar, and the Life Coach webinar was with Brooke Castillo. We did that webinar with her audience, and then we turned that into an evergreen funnel for a short period of time afterwards. That did absolutely spectacular. And then we also had, you guys may remember on Russell's birthday, he did the Funnel Hacking Live birthday bash, proving that you can take any event, anytime, and turn it into a dramatic demonstration and be able to turn it into something that increases your continuity, not just sells the thing you want to sell, which was a ticket to Funnel Hacking Live. So we did that. And then last but not least, at the end of March, Susan knows this event very well, was the Mastermind in Paradise event that she went to, and she started doing recaps of. And I remember Russell talking about, there's this gal, she's doing recaps. Like, what you used to do a Funnel Hacking Live, like she's doing all this cool stuff, and it's really good. And that kicked off something that may have kicked us off in April.
Yeah, which isn't, it is the line item on our list. So yes, Mastermind in Paradise. Well, the event, I'll speak to the event real quickly. It's awesome. Yeah. If you have the chance, if you're in 2CCX or the other programs that allow you to go to it, go. It's amazing. And yes, it did kick off a lot of things that happened in 2023. I'm going to skip around. Okay, Ben. So that led to the rebirth of FHTV and FunnelHackerTV really quickly after that. So that happened in April. Ben and I came together. Russell asked us to be co-hosts of the show, and you guys have been watching us since the beginning, middle of April. I don't know if you guys realize that. We've been doing it since the beginning of April. We're almost to our 100th episode, which is really, really exciting. So also what happened in April, though, was another Lady Boss event. We're into the 4th month of the year, and there was a Lady Boss event in every single month.
Oh, wow.
Every single month, which is like, take that as a lesson. They're all different events too, and they all had a different purpose and intention. But this one was the 5-day cake challenge. So now they're bringing in a challenge. This one I did get to watch. It was kind of cool. And it was also kind of fun because I got to be in the office a little bit. I didn't get to watch it in the office, but I was there while they were doing it. And I was like, this is awesome. I'm in the office. They're doing an event. But that's cool. And continued to use that challenge to bring people into the Lady Boss continuity, right? Using the challenge to bring people into continuity. which I think has been doing pretty well. I think that that was a really successful, popular challenge. It was really fun. Also, what happened was an Inner Circle event, which is where we kicked off at FHTV. So those were our first episodes. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was April. Then we move into May, where we had the Magnetic Marketing Renegade Millionaire event. So this was the event where Marty Fort and Dan Kennedy were actually in the ClickFunnels office, in the studio there, and doing a very exclusive event to the Renegade Millionaires, and just very intimate. Not a whole lot of people got to be in that room. And Dan just was able to share so much wisdom to each of them, and that was pretty awesome. Did you have any thoughts about that one, Ben? Because that was one of the first, besides Inner Circle, that was one of the first that you and I got to attend on behalf of FHTV.
Yeah, no, it was one of the really cool events because number one, I got to meet Dan Kennedy for the first time in person, which was really cool for me. I got to talk to him about his horses and like how he takes care of them after he's done racing them. But like being able to see the businesses that never realized they needed Dan Kennedy realize how much they needed Dan Kennedy, and being able to have Dan Kennedy fly out to Boise for the very first time and to be in the office. It was a really cool event. And it was one of those moments that Russell really loved. He actually streamed a piece of it live to everybody, because right before that, we also had the affiliate challenge afterwards. Everybody who'd won with the affiliate for Your First Funnel Challenge was able to come out for a day early to the Magnetic Marketing affiliate day challenge. And we got to interview people there. And so it was really, really cool. So that was really neat to be able to see him, be able to have that moment with Russell, and then be able to learn how much Dan Kennedy is important. When Russell hired me, the first thing he had me do is like go deep into everything Dan Kennedy. And so I went deep. And so being able to go deep, and then about a year later, being able to see him in person, be able to see all this work was really, really cool for me. That was really, really neat.
That's awesome.
Ooh.
So cool. Okay, so we'll keep moving on. We're not even halfway through the year yet. Okay, so also what happened in May was the Challenge Secrets Challenge with Pedro Rodeo, and that was the first time we got to see Russell. Well, me, I don't know. Has he done that before? Russell partner up with somebody and do this joint event, and bring in an expert in what they do and do this event to the entire ClickFunnels community. And that was pretty awesome to see that. And the challenge killed it, and it was great. So that happened in May, with us like just packed with events throughout the whole year. Okay, moving into June. June was packed.
Yes.
So June's we had. Do you want to speak about June? The first few of June. Ben?
Actually, do really quick before we jump into before we jump into the beginning of June. Something happened at Mastermind in Paradise that had never happened before. So Russell was backstage and he had this idea, and Eileen Wilder came up to him and said, "I think you should pitch it." And he goes, "I don't know if I should pitch it. I just want to introduce you. I think you should make $1 million offer." And for the first time, Russell put $1 million offer together backstage while people were watching the introduction video. And he put the offer together, went on stage, presented the offer on a whiteboard, showed everybody what they were getting, and introduced the offer. And thus began the Secrets of Success Atlas Library or Museum. And it's the very first, it was a moment that I don't know if you can really replicate. And it's cool because in June, not only was he able to pitch it one more time on a webinar, where he did a webinar and he introduced it and he showed everybody, and we created a funnel for it. You could choose your package and you'd be able to invest and be able to become an investor inside of it, be able to have access and be able to have virtual seats and physical seats and all these cool things that were happening with the event center. But he also then took that, and at the end of the month, we did the groundbreaking, which was an amazingly cool event. Like June was the Secrets of Success month for me. Like it just summarized everything. It was the legacy month. It was the year where Russell was not only selling legacy as a promise, but building his own. And it was really cool to be able to see that and be able to be a fly on the wall, and to be able to be a fly on the wall for you guys, so that way you guys could see everything and how it happened every single step of the way. That's why we do Funnel Hacker TV. So really cool to be able to see both the webinar pitch for it as well as the groundbreaking event. But then we also launched several other things. We launched Supplement Secrets. So he did the Supplement Secrets webinar. Note, we were going to do, in June is so heavy, we were going to do a challenge at the beginning of June for Supplement Secrets or Unfair Advantage. We did not. Instead, Russell said, push that out. Let's only market to people who are interested instead of my entire list. And let's find out the people who are interested by doing a webinar first. Catch that lesson. He created a list of people who would be interested in a one-time event in order to ensure that they were interested before he introduced them into a 5-day event, and started to do that follow-up sequence in order to make sure that he properly respected everybody. We're able to segment them and where they want. So the Supplement Secrets webinar happened, and then he recorded 50 shorts in a day with Eric Thane, which was crazy. But he got it all done. He did spectacular, and it was a moment. And I still remember watching the short. Russell's like, whew, we just did it. Really, really cool. And the last two things that happened, they did the Supplement Secrets Challenge in June. And then also in June, we started to finally interview all of the speakers at Funnel Hacking Live. They gave Funnel Hacker TV, Susan and I, the ability to interview every single speaker for Funnel Hacking Live, and to be able to be a part of the noise machine that built that up. A couple lessons that we learned from that. Number one, we would do a summary email at the end of each week. And in the past, every time Russell did an announcement, he did an email drop that day. The email drop that day made more noise, sold more ticket sales. When we moved to just the weekly, we sold less tickets. So it's an interesting thing, like maybe in 2024, 2025, if we get to do this again, Susan, we drop those emails more rapidly to let them know this is the person who just spoke. This is the crazy bonus that they're dropping. Come and find out what it is. And we can do that almost instantly right after each one or during, in order to get people to watch and be able to get tickets faster. So interesting lesson that we learned from selling tickets for Funnel Hacking Live that maybe you didn't know.
Yeah. That's a great lesson to take away. So that you guys know, if you've been watching, the speaker interviews for FHL speakers was basically the story of FHTV for several months.
Yes,
but there's still plenty of other things happening. So moving into July, we had Russell started to record. That's this one, right? Russell started to record linchpin training. So this was specifically trainings for within the 2CCX program. And he started recording really in-depth training, teaching them all about the linchpin. So he went into, there was a day 1, day 2 happened in August. We'll get to August. But then also Russell took the trip to Kenya with his family, and Stu McLaren and his family, and probably some others, I think, for Village Impact, as they do every year. They try to every year. Was this the first time that they got to go in the last couple of years because COVID kind of screwed things up, or did they get to go last year too?
I know they were able to go for the first time as an entire family. I know that was the big thing.
That's
I
what
can't
it was.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So he got to take his entire family, which is awesome. Because I know, like, you hear the stories, and every year at FHL, they play the video of the trip for the year, and the impact that it has on them as individuals. So it's really cool that his family got to participate in that as well. And then moving into August, did more linchpin training for 2CCX. So another day of that. And then he took the Atlas and Category Kings, was it both of those, to Pirates Cove in Vegas. They do that every year as well. And they have their own getaway masterminding, and it looks like a blast. We didn't get to go to that one, so cool. But it looks like so much fun. And I'm sure there's a lot of amazing ideas that fly around at that event.
Let me share just one of them. So Russell came to me afterwards and said, we had a speaker that I got to be able to come and speak last minute. You need to watch this training because it's what I want to do with XYZ process and this. And I went, okay. And so I sat down and I watched this training, and it was just jaw-dropping. So you need to recognize, you creating all of your courses and your events and your masterminds and all these fun getaways. It's not because you're the guru on the mountain, you have nothing to learn. It's because you're teaching everybody, so you automatically become an authority figure. But the best way to learn is to surround yourself with other people that are taking action on what it is you're doing. And so you gather those other people that are taking action, and suddenly your game changes and increases. And that was a really cool takeaway from Pirates Cove for us. There were some things that Russell's like, we need to implement that. Watch this. We need to implement this. Watch this. And just kind of sent it out to the team. We did this for the Inner Circle again last year too, or what just happened a couple months ago. And so like these abilities to be able to learn from everybody and be like, Russell sitting down with somebody on the affiliate team, be like, okay, you need to go and watch this from so-and-so. Creating this type of environment is valuable. It also lets you have the vacations that you want if you set it up correctly. But there's some really cool stuff that you're able to do. So Pirates Cove was a really cool experience. And then we ended August and started September with the return of Russell Brunson's Decade in a Day. This is where everybody's able to sit down with Russell. They have the ability to do Q&As with him, and he answers what is going on in their business and gives them support and questions in front of everybody. So everybody's able to learn from them together and at the same time be able to get the ahas and the insights. And it's funny because you get people who stand up there and like, I have a question, but I already know that my biggest question has been answered by so-and-so because of their question and this, because of that. And so being able to do this, take lessons, because there's ways that you can structure your business, this entire thing is like, how do you funnel hack Russell's calendar? How do you just funnel hack his launch calendar? His when does he go as a family? What is his family time? Where do you give back? How do you do this? Funnel hack the whole calendar. Throughout September, he once again did another linchpin event. He prepped for Funnel Hacking Live with a call with Stephen Larson, which was really cool to have Steve Larson come back to be able to do this. He did it once upon a time. We're like, what if Steve were to be able to come back and do this training again? That was such a cool training. And it's funny because Russell was busy. Russell's preparing for Funnel Hacking Live. He's doing all these different things. We had ideas for things that Russell could do in order to be able to get out in front of things. And he found ways to be able to put other people in front because he didn't have the time. He didn't look at what his lack was. He looked at what resources he could use and was able to put other people first and foremost and be able to support them. So in September, we also had the Magnetic Marketing Right Like Dan Challenge. So Dan Henry came in, learned the linchpin, had his brain literally exploded, and was like, oh my gosh, this is the most brilliant thing ever. How can I help install this inside of one of your businesses? Got in contact with Dan Kennedy's business, and literally from the event that we had done, got in contact, was like, okay, let me help. I want to do this. He went and bought the really expensive book and was like, I'm going to teach this book. I'm going to get people to buy the book. And I was like, okay. And it became the 3-day challenge that Dan Henry did for Dan Kennedy called the Right Like Dan Challenge. And it was awesome. It was spectacular. We evergreened it afterwards, and it's still spectacular. So really cool there.
Cool.
And of course, September would not be September if we didn't talk about the one thing that happens every single year.
Funnel Hacking Live. Funnel Hacking Live 9 happened this year, and it was awesome. It was all about linchpin. The entire event was Russell and the other speakers walking through how Russell walking through how linchpin works and how to install it in your business, and then the speakers bringing how they're doing it. It just so masterfully done in how it was all organized. And Russell would come out and teach something about linchpin, and then he'd have the supporting speakers come out and say, like, here's your options, here's the things that we're doing. And it's just so good. And it was also a fun experience for us, Ben and Susan, because we got to do Funnel Hacker TV stuff the entire time. And it was just an incredible experience, being able to participate in that event in that capacity. Any thoughts on that for yourself, Ben?
One of the things that Russell talked about is he talked about why he was about to build Secrets of Success. And he's like, this is something that I loved and I'm taking away every single time. The reason Russell's launching Secrets of Success is not because he's leaving ClickFunnels. He's like, if I want to make ClickFunnels bigger, what is the position that I need to go into in order to do that? And he looked at all of his mentors that have made the change from their business into personal development. And he said, this is my shift into personal development. And personal development casts a broader net, and it brings people in broader, and then you can bring them into the ClickFunnels world. He goes, this is me making that move into that world so that I can bring more people into the ClickFunnels world. And so literally, he painted the picture of what he was going to do. He gave us the formula of how he's going to do it at Funnel Hacking Live in September. And in October, he officially launched Secrets of Success. And we were able to watch it. We were able to be affiliates for it. We were able to cheer it on. We were able to make that all happen. We were able to see all the different things that were inside of 2.0 that were promised a year ago be installed massively well, including all the new things from Funnel Hacking Live, and be able to show like, this is how your community is going to work. This is how we're doing the book club with the community and with live courses, and being able to create that feeling and that movement and that moments, those moments that are really powerful. This is how we're using all these other things, and they start to show the linchpin and how it works. And it was the fulfillment of all these different ideas slammed into one. I don't know if they've released how well it did, but it did well. It did very, very well. And we had people who want to
very
wear
well.
Freebird. It did very well.
Yeah,
so absolutely
awesome.
spectacular. And then a couple other things really quick to sum up the year. October, we had the Magnetic Marketing Recession webinar. They're doing a webinar every single month. Have you noticed that? Every single month, Magnetic Marketing is doing another dramatic demonstration. Guess what they do on the thank you page? You guess it. Okay. They're having a noise event every single month in order to push people to the Mifki with different angles every single time. One time it's Dan Henry. One time it's recession. One time it's an actual challenge that they're going to evergreen. They just keep shooting. Okay. So they did that, which is really, really cool. In November, we had another Renegade Millionaire event out in Nashville, the second one, with everybody who is a high ticket. The Renegade Millionaire, by the way, that whole program, the whole mastermind is brand new just this year. So to be able to see them create that was also something really, really neat, to be able to see that next level be added. We had the Inner Circle events in November that Susan and I just got to go to, which were beautiful and spectacular. And then we got to host the Funnel Games, which it was like 6 episodes in 6 days. It was heavy.
It was awesome.
Really
it was heavy though.
It was heavy.
So much fun. It was a lot to participate in, and host the event was quite the experience. But I hope it happens again. I hope they have a Funnel Games 2 next year, maybe.
Yes.
Because that was awesome. Yep, all of those episodes, if you missed any of them, you can find them. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's in the playlist on YouTube. If you're looking for it and trying to find it, you can find it there. It's really easy. And then in November, at the very end of November, we got to see the launch of the third variation of the One Funnel Away challenge, revamped for ClickFunnels 2.0, and to be able to see all of that take off. Actually, today, as a note, today is week 5 of the first cohort, the first group that's gone through the One Funnel Away challenge. This is week number 5. Yeah, we go for 5 weeks. Yes, it's tons of value. It goes longer than 30 days. You give there's so much that's provided out there. So, it was spectacular. If you guys want to go through One Funnel Away, once again, and go to onefunnelaway.com, make this part of your next year. You guys can sign up now to go through it for free, and you can choose when you want to start. If you want to make your New Year's your New Year's, and to be able to choose to launch your funnel and get help at beginning of January 1st, literally, because it's a Monday, go and get on onefunnelaway.com right now as a Christmas present to yourself, because it's free. If you want to choose $100 for coaching, highly recommend it. You get to get daily coaching on top of all of the different facilitations and all the workbooks and all the templates. And right now we are installing brand new sequences all the way through in order to support. If you get stuck somewhere, you can reach out to a funnel builder who can help you get more momentum every single step of the way. So onefunnelaway.com, go sign up for free, schedule to sign up so that way you get you jump on at the very beginning of January. It's going to be really, really cool. So that was the year. Well, after it's a huge recap, what stood out to you, Susan? Because we want to respect everybody's time, but with all of that on the mind, was there something that stood out to you?
Make offers. In your business, make sure you're showing up, and make sure that you are doing dramatic demonstrations and making offers and moving people into your continuity, because that is the linchpin way, which we know this is the way, right? And that is how you grow your business. Is just we like to say in our community that building a continuity business doesn't mean just moving people into a subscription payment plan of your offer, but a continuity business is something that you are going to consistently and continuously show up for. And so the consistency that I see in the year's schedule, I think is probably one of the biggest takeaways that people could have.
Love that. One thing that stood out for me too is the way that you launch it. Number one, always having a monthly dramatic demonstration. It may not be the one that you evergreen. It may be the one that you evergreen, but plan for it monthly. And you'll notice there were lots of different things happening. Choose when you're going to launch your high ticket dramatic demonstration. Create your calendar now. You get to percolate and have all of the ideas of all the things you get to do for the next for 2024. Your New Year's resolutions are not set in. It's Christmas time. We get to just enjoy and to believe and to be able to open all the presents. I hope you guys enjoyed all the presents we got to go through, but now's the time for you to get your present figured out for 2024. What are you going to give yourself? And how are you going to model the calendar? If you guys want to watch this again in order to see the full calendar and be like, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing this day. This is how I'm going to make this work. Do it, because it's extremely valuable. Tag a friend if you found this valuable. Susan, Merry Christmas. Thank you for being on today. Appreciate it. I know it's a holiday.
Merry Christmas to everybody else too. Yes.
Yeah.
We are going to be back for another episode on Thursday. So we got to talk about the gifts from Russell and his companies and ClickFunnels. We're going to focus in on Thursday. We'll be back to talk about the gifts of ClickFunnels 2.0. So we're going to do a full recap of everything that happened with ClickFunnels, the software. And so don't miss that. We'll be back to do a similar recap and talk about our favorites and things that you may have missed. And okay. Anything else to throw in there?
Nope. I think that's great. Make sure that you guys are subscribed, and we'll see you guys on Thursday and all next year.
All right. Bye, everybody.
My name is Russell Brunson, and I'm part of an underground group of entrepreneurs that you've probably never even heard of before. We don't rely on cash from venture capitalists to get started, and we don't even have goals to go public either. In fact, our motivation is the exact opposite. You see, we have products and services and things that we know change people's lives. But because we're fighting against the big brands, people with literally unlimited budgets, we have to do things differently. We have to do things smarter. We don't have financial safety nets because every test we take is with our own money. We have to be profitable from day number one. So how do we do that? How is that even possible? If you ask the MBAs or look in your college textbooks, they will tell you that what we are doing is impossible, yet it's happening every single day. And it's happening through an art and a science that we call funnel hacking. It's not really something that I can explain to you. It's something I have to show you. These stories are a glimpse of entrepreneurs just like you who have a dream and a vision who want to change the world in their own little way. I use the funnel hacking process to help make their dreams become a reality. Yes, we are funnel hackers, and these are our stories.